Hello to all my friends and family, and welcome to this episode of Jim's 5am Club. What I'd like to do today is to produce an episode on a book entitled Fearless: Living Beyond Fear, Anxiety, Anger and Addiction. A book that was authored by Dean Sluyter and published on the 20th of March 2018. And this book serves as an insightful guide that explores the nature of fear and how to deal with it and transcend it, blending practical wisdom with personal anecdotes and mindfulness practices. Sluyter offers readers tools to navigate their emotions and live a more fulfilling life. So let's see what we can learn from this book. And the first key message to come from this author is understanding fear, where he says that the roots of fear are a natural response to perceived threats. And it's important to understand, he says here, that they're perceived threats, not necessarily real threats. The author here highlights that whilst fear can serve a protective function, it often becomes limiting when it leads to anxiety, anger, or addiction. So understanding the nature of fear is the first step and the most important step to overcoming it. The author here talks about the importance of mindfulness, because by being present, it helps us reduce the fear factor. The author emphasises the importance of mindfulness as a practice for overcoming fear and anxiety. By cultivating awareness of the present moment, individuals can completely detach themselves from their unproductive, fearful thoughts and emotions, fostering a sense of calm and clarity. This is really important. And another key point is that we need to embrace our vulnerability, because you can find strength in your vulnerability. Sluyter describes the idea that embracing vulnerability can lead to greater resilience. By acknowledging our fears and allowing ourselves to feel them, we can transform our relationship with fear and develop a deeper sense of self-acceptance. The author here talks about the technique of letting go. Releasing fear-based emotions is one of the key lessons to come from this book. Throughout this book, Sluyter offers practical techniques for letting go of fear, anxiety, anger, and addiction. These techniques, these powerful techniques, include meditation, prayer, breath work, and self-inquiry, which empower individuals to release negative emotions which are unproductive and help cultivate and curate a sense of inner peace. We also look at the importance of self-compassion as a healing tool. The author highlights the role of compassion both for ourselves and others in overcoming fear and anger. By developing a compassionate mindset, we can create a supportive environment that encourages healing and serves personal growth. We look at storytelling, the stories that we tell ourselves, the stories that we tell other people, and we look at how to reframe these narratives to help empower and better our lives. Sluyter illustrates how the stories we tell ourselves about our experiences shape our perceptions of fear and anxiety. By reframing these narratives, we can change our emotional responses and create new pathways for healing and resilience. Now, we can change our history by thinking about it and rewriting it. We don't have to live the stories and the figments of our imagination that were either inherited or generated by our immaturity, I guess is one way of putting it. We look at ways of living beyond fear, and the author here talks about creating a fearless life. I've been watching the cricket today, and I see Sam Constance being fearless in the way he plays cricket. And he's surrounded by people 10 years older than him in the team, and yet this young man shows and expresses fearlessness, and it shows and it's exemplified in his outcomes and in his results. So we need to envision a life beyond fear, our life beyond fear. By integrating mindfulness techniques and practices and cultivating self-awareness, individuals can break free from the constraints of fear and live more authentically and joyfully. This book, Fear Less, Living Beyond Fear, Anxiety, Anger and Addiction, is a powerful resource for anybody seeking to understand and transcend their fears. Dean Sluyter's insights into mindfulness, vulnerability and compassion provide the many practical tools for navigating fear-based emotions and fostering powerful resilience. This book serves as a guide to cultivating a life filled with courage, authenticity and peace. By embracing the principles outlined in this work, readers are empowered to confront their fears and create a more fulfilling existence, ultimately living beyond the limitations that fears impose in their lives. So thank you very much for joining me on this episode of Jim's 5am Club, where we've delivered yet another book. I'm closing in very close to getting to 1,900 vlogs on my YouTube channel, where we go through and do, just like we did today, a walk and talk, where we talk about books, about things that can help us navigate the complexity of life and to unravel the things that make us or turn us into the people that we are. So once again, thank you for joining me on this episode, and I look forward to continuing into the new year, where hopefully soon, over the next 2 or 3 months, I hit my 2,000 mark. I enter that elite 2,000 club, and I'll just keep on going for as long as I can, spreading the word and learning as I go.